Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupine Bhumne Sada Pardayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnana Gamya Namaste Namaste Tapo Yoga Gamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnana Gamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru. So we will straight away go ahead with question answer, or do you want something else? On the basis of yesterday, those who had attended, they have all called fulfilled. I think they have not come today, no? Mostly they are not there. Yesterday some 2-3 questions were there which were not answered. So I was reminded that they have to be answered. How do you open the minds of people who for generations follow rituals? They get angry that their values and soul is being questioned or threatened. Now, it could have been about anything. Open the minds of other people whenever it is concerned. A guru is not able to open the mind of a disciple, what to speak of the minds of others. So you can open up only your mind, you cannot open up others' mind. If they do it, fine, well and good. Seeing your open mind, being in presence of you, if their minds also become open, it's fine. But we cannot claim to do it, or we cannot open others' minds. It is not only opening the minds of others, even people say how to make the children spiritual. This is a common question we face always. If you want your children to be spiritual, the only thing you can do, and the first thing to do is you become spiritual. So being with you, your children also will become spiritual. And as days pass, somehow, somewhere that effect will be there. So, to bring in change in anybody, if you feel that the change is auspicious, it is better to bring in the change in ourselves, so that automatically it will come to others. Now, as far as the rituals and sticking to rituals, see, is it not true about everything that whatever we do or whatever our ideas and concepts are, it is very difficult to change because of our ego, because of our rigidity. Whatever we do, it need not be rituals about food, about behavior, about work. Everywhere we are rigid, and spirituality means being flexible. So, actually, even religiousness also should mean being flexible, but people become rigid in terms of religion. So much so that there is a real, it appears to be absurd, but it is a fact that a man was given to puja so much that when the grandchild was shouting and not listening, and his puja was getting disturbed, he beat up the child so much that the child passed away. This has also happened. So, we may not go to that extent, but we do. Actually, it is our problem of getting disturbed by other things. We should look into our mind and let them shout, but why should I get disturbed? That should be the sadhana. But that nobody does. They think that I am not allowed to meditate on God. So after that, whether he could do meditation on God, I don't know. So this is what our rigid mind, everywhere it is so. Particularly about this rituals and religious rigidity, our Upanishads are very, very clear about it. Bhagavad Gita, Kathopanishad, Mundakopanishad. Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter, you will find that Yami Mam Pushpitam Vacha. There, a full stanza. It is critical about Vedic rituals, those who are practicing. And they don't want to know that there is something else. They don't believe that there is something greater than this. Similar statements are there in both Kathopanishad and Mundakopanishad, where they are using the word Andhena iva niyamana yathandhaha, that a blind person leading a band of blind people. So the probability of falling will be much more. One blind man falling in a ditch is okay, but if you all are tied together, you will fall with the whole group. So in Mundakopanishad it is they are riding on a, what do you call it, bhela, the raft, which is about to be drowned in the midstream. Neither you can remain on the bank you are in, you wanted to cross the river with the leaky raft, and on the way you get drowned. So such harsh language and many other things are, particularly in Mundakopanishad and Kathopanishad, it is very much used to point out that one, rituals are good. As yesterday I explained in great detail what are the important to keep the society bridled, and the other points also to keep people on the path of goodness, how much important they are. All this we have discussed yesterday. The causality part also we have discussed yesterday. But the fact is that suppose you have studied very well up to class 11, you have stood first also, everything you have done. But you say that no, there is nothing more in the college. I have learnt everything. Why should I go to the college? It is like that. The Shastras you are following, the rituals are all in the Vedas. We are following the Vedas. Those who are serious about it, they are following the Vedas. Now Vedas have got two clear, distinct parts. The first part is called Karma Kanda, and the second part, the latter part is called Jnana Kanda. The first part deals with all kinds of rituals and practices, which is called Karma Kanda. That means actions. But the later part of the Vedas, which is called Vedanta, that is the highest part of the Veda and the end part of the Veda, which is actually an assembly of all the Upanishads, we say. Upanishads are nothing but all Upanishads together, they make Vedanta. That is the end part of Vedas. Now, whatever they have written in the first part, as we proceed, they go to the higher and higher levels and say that this is not so. You have to know the truth. Yesterday also he explained that when you move to the search for truth, you have to do away with whatever is non-experiential. All these are there in the Upanishads itself, in the Vedanta. So, they are advising us that same Veda who are making us perform the rituals, the same Vedas in the end part of it, they are encouraging us to leave the rituals and go beyond, outlive. And the whole life, according to our scriptures, is living and outliving. It is not that they are saying, and many people think that spirituality means they are not saying we should not get married, we should not have family, then how will the society live? But what our scriptures say is that we are born with the bondage, we are bound here and there. But before we leave our body, we should get liberated. That means we should live and outlive. It is not that because we have married, we are in the family, that we will not be able to outlive the family connections and take to sannyasa or vanaprastha or anything like that. The whole life is to live and outlive, live and outlive. They are not saying that you should leave everything from the beginning, then our mind will become distorted. We will not be having a proper, simple life. So that is the idea. So if we go forward and if we listen to the Upanishads, then automatically the rigidity towards the rituals will go and we will be promoted to the higher level of practices. It is clearly demarcated even in the end of the first part of Kathopanishad, where the main story is over. There the last two mantras are saying that this Upanishad has to be read in Shraddha Sabha and Brahmana Sabha. This Upanishad should be read and explained in Brahmana Sabha and Shraddha Sabha. Why? Because Brahmana Sabha means those who are given to rituals. So if you explain this Upanishad to the people given to the rituals, it will help them to know that there is something higher where they have to be promoted to, they have to go further. Why it is in Shraddha Sabha? This is again, Shraddhas are rituals actually. But the additional thing is that in Kathopanishad, the whole instruction is based on the idea of death and what happens after death. It is based on two questions of Nachiketa. You must be knowing that the first question is, what happens when the body falls? Some say there is something, some say there is nothing. I would like to know the truth of it by remaining under your tutelage. Nachiketa, 7-year-old Nachiketa is asking Yamaraja. It started with that. So naturally people will be interested in knowing what happens after death. This is particularly in a Shraddha Sabha or when somebody has died. Our mind will be immediately given to, is he still there or not, or if he is there, where is he, can I meet, or what is happening to him, has he got liberated or not, all sorts of questions will be there. So that is the time Kathopanishad has to be explained, which will clearly tell us, and if you are serious, which will make us realize that the soul never dies at all. The soul is not bound by the body-mind complex. The body falls, the soul remains whatever it is. Yesterday's mirror example I have, in great detail I have spoken about it. So, The Kathopanishad is part of the Vedas only. It is then part of the Vedas. The same Vedas are saying you have to outlive the rituals. So, if we have the knowledge, we can try to enlighten them. We cannot enlighten anybody if he doesn't want to. That also is written there. Those who do not want to see, they're deep inside the water. Suppose you are in water, but your face, you can get up and look around. Then you will see that there is an outside in atmosphere. You will try to get out of the water. But if your head also is deep inside water, you don't know what is there outside. These are all examples from Kathopanishad and Mundaka Upanishad. Dandramyamana pariyanti mudhaha andhena ivani yamana yathandha. Their motion will be always erratic. I say Brownian motion. That is like this, like this, like this. Every day our life goes like that. That is one thing. Another is the cyclical motion. The everyday getting up in the morning, I do A, B, C, D, again next morning A, B, C, D. So we are moving in the same cycle. There is no progression. This cycle will be there. For an hour also this cycle, daily cycle is there. But with that there should be a progression. That as the cycle, daily cycle goes, we should proceed towards liberation, towards the ultimate freedom. If that progression is not there, is what they are saying in the Upanishad, it is saying. That their movement is like the going round and round in the cycle. There is no progression. So to keep our mind open to all kinds of inputs, this is one of the greatest part of spirituality. Our Vedas say, Anubhadra kratavo yantu vishvataha. It is quoted everywhere. Anubhadra, no means naha, means for us. Anubhadra kratavo yantu vishvataha. May good thoughts, noble thoughts come from all directions to me, to us. This is a prayer of the Vedas. So unless we keep our mind open, how can the noble thoughts enter our mind? Everywhere it is said. This spirituality is not a path of rigidity, it's not a path of closing up, it's a path of opening up. Whenever we take up sannyasa, they said, oh, you did not have any duty towards parents and all, you have left everybody, you did not have love for them. It is not the lack of love, because of that we have left the parent. The love, when it expands and you have the whole universe in your arena of love, when you embrace the whole universe, you cannot remain in your family or with the parents. With all the love and more love. Normally if you live with the parents, you will not have love so much for them. So it is the love which makes us live. It is an absolutely wrong idea about sannyasa that people have. It is the expansion of the mind. For a true sannyasin, the expansion of the mind makes him sannyasa. It is not, vairagya means you sabko chhod ke chale jao, you leave everything and go. No. Vairagya means viraga. Raga means color. We are always seeing the world by applying the color of me and mine. The color of ragadvesha. What I like, I stick to that. What I do not like, I want to avoid that. I hate that. That is clinging to what I like and intolerant about what I dislike. That makes our world. So that is this ragadvesha together is the color we are applying to the world. To get rid of that color is viraga, means to get rid of that color. That is the vairagya. So you will see the world as it is. Whether it is your son or other's son or your parents or others' parents, it doesn't matter. Whatever to be done you are doing, but you will not have a colored vision about it. You will have a clear vision about yourself also. We will know the world as it is, we will know ourselves as we are. So spirituality means a clear vision. Vairagya means becoming absolutely clear in our vision. Impersonal. I use the term in English, I don't use detachment, I use impersonality. Then the managers are very interested, the corporate people. Impersonality everybody wants. The moment you say Vairagya, they will run away. Because of the misconception, they don't know. Even loving a person, you cannot love anybody properly unless you have Vairagya. Your love will be constricted love. You will not have the joy of loving your own son because you don't have the Vairagya. We get much more joy by loving all of you. Because we don't get attached to you. When we come here, very happily we come, we are happy to see all of you. When we go also, we are happy. I think that answers your question. It has become quite a few now. This is another question, Jai Guru Swamiji, if I am not the body, mind, ego, and I am the witness, please tell me one solid method that I can practice to stop identifying with ego and start identifying myself with witness. Second point is, my mind is always doubting a lot of things about who we are that is said in scriptures. Can you share what teachings that destroyed all doubts for you? That means in my case. I did not have any doubt any time at all. So I need not. This doubt is the problem. Why should you have doubt? We should have enquiry. If whatever the scriptures say we doubt it, we will never be able to realize the truth. We should inquire that what are they really meaning. When we do not understand what the Guru or a saint is speaking, we should be humble enough to ask that, Swamiji, I am not able to conceive of or understand what you are saying. Somewhere I am missing the point. Can you explain to me? It is not doubt that whatever is said is wrong or right or this or that. The doubts are a great spoiling element in spiritual sadhana. That doubts should not be there. We should have only enquiry and clarity. We will move from clarity to further clarity to still further clarity without any doubts. Doubts need not be there at all. So in my case, fortunately, I never had any doubts. And my life has been proceeding, even I would say it was never from darkness to light. It was light to further light to still further light. Even now to still further and further light. I am always happy to move towards light. Even now I am happy to move towards light. And this journey never ends perhaps. If the journey ends, then the joy is gone. You might be fulfilled, but suppose fulfillment we say, a small pond is, if you fill water, it is fulfilled. If you dig more, you need more water to put it. If you make a lake, still more water will be necessary. All are fulfilled. But the lake dimension is, compared to the pond, it is huge. The well, compared to the well, the lake dimension is huge. And there is a joy in always expanding the dimension to go higher and higher dimension. We should be happily proceeding towards the higher and higher dimension without any doubt, without any restriction. The first part is See, it is not a method, solid method and practice. I always point out, the most of the seekers, they make mistake that they make the spiritual sadhana an exercise. It is not an exercise. आधा घंटा ध्यान करना है, 7 to 7:30 ध्यान लगा दिया, उसके बाद ऑफिस जाना है, चला गया, आके थोड़ा सा चैंटिंग कर लेना है विष्णु ना, दैट इज़ इन द मॉर्निंग. इवनिंग में आके थोड़ा भागवतम पढ़ना है या भगवद गीता पढ़ना है, पढ़ लिया. संडे गो टू द सत्संग एंड रीड 2 श्लोकास एंड डिस्कस, हो गया. इट इज़ नॉट एन एक्सरसाइज. It's a live sadhana for every moment, not a time-bound sadhana even. So, if you want to identify with the witness, you have to understand what does it mean. What is the meaning of our witness identity? And try to associate with that identity more and more and more. So automatically the ego will get dissolved. You will start feeling a sky-like dimension, a spatial dimension. You will not get touched, affected by anything happening from anybody abusing, saying this, saying that. You will not be affected at all. Why should you? This ego is always, whenever, suppose there is you have found out some trouble in you. We should look into ourselves and find out many defects in us. Now, there can be 2 kinds of reactions when we discover some defect in us. One is that we become depressed, seeing that, oh, even now I am suffering from jealousy. So, kuch to nahi hua hai spiritual sadhana karke. Even now I am suffering from, so we become depressed. Another is you see the defect and try to get rid of it. Simply what is to be done. Now that ego part makes us depressed. Try to understand, I am going subtly into it, that discovering the defect, working on it is not ego. You have seen some, suppose there is a dirt on the table, some ink mark is there. Will you become depressed or will you simply clean it? But when it is in your mind, you get depressed. Why should you? You clean it. That's all. As anywhere else we are clean. This is the meaning of having no ego or being witness. You see the dirt, you clean it. You see the dirt in your mind, you clean it. Similarly, you find some good quality in your mind, you become elated. Why should you be elated? It is again the ego. The elation part is the ego. If good quality is there, it should be encouraged. I should be happy that, oh, acha, the nature has given me this good quality. I should be happy about it, and further I should enhance it. So whenever the depression, elation comes, these are the identification with the ego. So we have to see it and remove that part and develop that impersonal vision, which I call vairagya, impersonality, to work on it in a free manner. Sometimes some defects are so ingrained, coming down through heredity. You may not be able to remove. Accept it. Finally, try to remove. If it doesn't go, accept it. This much only I can do. More than that I cannot do. You will find that it has gone also. When you take such an attitude, you will find that it will go. So it is not a question of a solid practice that I am not the body mind, I am not the ego. वो बोलने से कुछ नहीं होगा. हम सीधा बता रहे हैं. Straight away I am saying nothing will happen by saying I am this, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Nothing will happen. What Brahman you have to know, you will understand I am Brahman. That Brahman, what is this concept? What is the meaning of that Brahman? Brahman is not found anywhere in the created universe. It is something else. So, it is not a question of a practice or as an exercise or a regular something, japa or anything. You can try, of course, some little effect will be there, like the ants walking, some mark coming in. But if you straight away attack it through knowledge, immediately it will go. Is it meaningful? This is Abhiram. Huh? For one to be liberated, does one have to do scriptural studies? Or is it enough if one does deep introspection on their own, or both are required? See, this is also, the question should not come. Scriptures are there to help us. So what is the harm in taking the help of the scriptures? It is such a thing. If you can do it on your own, it's fine. But why should you think which is doable or not? When a simple thing is given, suppose I ask you to come here, and you can walk here with the help of your leg. Would you like to jump over without the leg of with the help of the legs? And ask whether it is doable or not? You can try, anything is doable, but why should you try a difficult process when the simpler process is available? Scriptures are not for just gaining some knowledge of the Atma or Brahman. Scriptures, this you should remember very well, scriptures are to be used as tool for purification and expansion of our mind and intelligence. Just by the scriptural knowledge, if many things would have happened, then all the university professors of philosophy would have got liberated. They know much more scriptures than us. They know, some of them know all the Vedas also. They don't get liberated by that because they have never tried. They are given to the scholarly knowledge of the scriptures. So, scriptures by themselves will not liberate you. Any number of scriptures you read. Similarly, without the scriptures, if you can liberate, scriptures are not, you get liberated, scriptures are not needed. But for you, whatever is available, whatever is possible, scriptures are there for us to always, as a caution, as a walking stick. So we should take the help of it. Suppose many people, when the Guru gives some sadhana, it is right that initially they are only given to the sadhana, but after some time the scriptures will automatically come to them, and they should go into it and start comparing whatever I have known through my sadhana, whether it is confirmed by the scriptures or not. That will give him great confidence. When you find that whatever I have discussed in life, through my sadhana, is confirmed by so many rishis who have reported in the Upanishads, is it not a great confirmation that over the period of thousands of years, people have reported the same thing which I have known? So, we should not think that the scriptures I find difficult to read or anything. We have. You can say both are required. Not only that, the scriptures are necessary to help your introspection. Without the scriptures, introspection will not be easy. Him I have already done, don't want to. Jai Guru, Pranam, my mind is not able to get depth to experience inner presence. Is it because it is not pure enough and calm enough? I don't experience any Anand. I understand I did not be expecting it. Will cultivating more and more divine quality help me? This is today's question, no? See, certainly it is, we can simply call it lack of purity or lack of calmness. Who is this, Shobana? You. But saying that nothing will happen, we have to understand why the mind does not become cheerful. It is because the mind is caught in worldliness, in desires of various kinds, expectations of various kinds. So to get rid of such desires, expectations, you need some vichara. Vichara means to really think. Suppose a person has been after money for many, many years, and that not having enough money is making his mind unhappy. Should he not think that has money given ultimate happiness to anybody in the world in any time? Even the Rockefeller and Ford and all of the world. Were they happy? We can know their history, we know. So, just by looking around, we see that the money has never made anybody happy. Any amount of money. Being the richest person in the world also, he is not happy. So why am I thinking that getting a certain more amount of money, I would have been happy or so? The happiness lies somewhere else. So this much of vichara is necessary. That what am I looking for in life? Why am I missing? If we look around, we tell the children who are given to not a very happy disposition, why don't you go and help the poor people around? When you find that the other children, the condition of so many children, the way they are born, the way they are suffering on the street, and you think about you, what are you thinking? That should you remain like this, worrying about what you haven't got in life, or should you be happy that whatever God has given? Actually, once Baba had written to Ma that there are some people who sitting in the palace eating the most luxurious food, they eat and shed tears. And there are people who sit under a tree and take only shattu, that you know that the easiest food they carry. Or say you can say avil, these are simple poha. They smile and they are happily they take that food and remain smiling. So we have to understand how we can remain cheerful. So it is lack of purity only, but by saying it is lack of purity, nothing will be served. What we have to do, we have to find out. We have to look into the mind and what am I looking for? What is making me unhappy? Should I be unhappy or remain happy with whatever God has given me in life? You know, Rabindranath Thakur lost 5-6 people in a course of about few months, one after another, and his youngest son also died. He was very fond of this son. He was thinking that he is like Rabindranath, he is going to be like him. So when he died, he became very sad initially. Then when he himself is writing, I came out to the veranda and looked at nature. I did not find anything missing anywhere at all. The nature is as full as it was. Nothing has gone wrong anywhere. It should be like that. We should be able to know that, take things as they are. I understand I need not be expecting, be cultivating more and more. You can cultivate divine qualities, everything, but you know the greatest divine quality is to remain cheerful. Laugh, smile, remain cheerful, remain simple. This is the complication of our mind which makes us unhappy. We have to know how to become simple. Not how to become simple, just simply become simple. Simplicity is a great quality. Simplicity, openness, lovingness. Everybody will have some good qualities and bad qualities. To love somebody, if you need only the qualities you like, is it ever going to happen? So our unhappiness is often with the house people, with our own children, with our daughters-in-law and all. So it will never be to our liking. We have to simply love them in spite of all. See, in our ashram it is very true that if suppose somebody is there who no other people do not like her because of some characteral quality or so, they cannot even withstand her behavior. Always there will be disturbance and all. So we used to say that, Acha, all of us are there. Everybody with some defects, qualities and all. We are not like Swamiji as he wants us to be. But is not Swamiji bearing with us without any problem for so many years? This lady you are speaking of, she has been here for so many years. Swamiji has been all right with all the defects. Swamiji may scold her, may shout at her also. All this given. But he is equally loving to her also. So can you, if you have come to Swamiji as a disciple to be like whatever Swamiji wants you to be, should you not love her also? So I think that perhaps this kind of an approach worked in their mind, that we should, if Swamiji has accepted, we should also accept. So the feeling of non-acceptance will go. Immediately the cheerfulness also will dawn. Swamiji used to say, we should have more and more such people here to make all of you transcend this raga dvesha. We should have more people with this kind of quality. And later on it became opposite. We have a dog now who is always cheerful. So he says we should have more Surya Kumari now. The dog's name is Surya Kumari. We thought it is a male, so Swamiji named Surya. Then it turned out to be a female, so we made it Surya Kumari. And she is so fond of everybody. Anybody coming, we feel that the tail will fall off. Only coming close to some people, if she finds that the person is not accepting her and fearful of her, then she would keep away a little. But always cheerful. So Swamiji said that, see, the one dog has made all of us happy. So we are not able to be happy with the God, but we are happy with the dog. Is it enough? How can one combat the fear of loss in detachment when embarking on the path of spirituality? It is too complicated a question. We have to understand what is the trouble. Fear of loss, then how is it linked to spirituality? Fear of loss, that too in detachment. If detachment is there, fear of loss will not be there. Can you explain to me who? Ashwin. Can you tell me a little more detail? What is your problem?
Yeah, so I'm confused about when I try to detach myself from certain emotions I feel towards different people. I also am seeing that I might lose the relationship that I have with them. So how can I proceed?
But why should you have detachment?
So how can I handle my emotions without kind of being detached from another person? So if I want to not be affected by them or just go about my own...
You simply love everybody. See, we want love from a person. And if that love we don't get, we get hurt. Is it not so? But have you ever thought what gives us the delight? Is it the person giving us the delight, or it is the love which delights us, our mind?
I feel like the person being there gives us...
No, you try to think that is it the person who is delighting, or is it the love you are looking for, that the love from the person is delighting you?
The love would be delightful.
If it is the love, then why not we love everybody? Then always we will be delighted by the love. This is the secret of entire spirituality. It is spoken of in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is the highest and the greatest Upanishad, biggest Upanishad, where Yajnavalkya is teaching his wife, erstwhile wife, before taking up sannyasa. Yajnavalkya was leaving the household, taking up sannyasa. So the wife had asked, Maitreyi had asked that some certain questions. In reply to that, he is explaining to her that it is not the person wherefrom the love is coming at all. It is the love itself which delights our mind, which enriches us. So it is better to love. You don't have to have any detachment. If you freely love people, if the other person doesn't love you also, it doesn't matter. You will not get hurt. You go on loving.
Will there be the fear of losing that person?
You will lose what is there. You won't bother about losing any person there. Because you are loving everybody, there is no question of losing anybody. Let 100 people go, 100 people come, it doesn't matter at all. And if the fear is there, bear with that fear, you suffer that fear, what is the harm? Suppose we are saying we are loving everybody and all, our dog. We are loving the dog. Now we may have the fear of the dog dying, that is losing the dog or dog dying. Now when that fear comes to the mind that, oh, she may die, or something, it may not happen, but so, then is it not better to face that situation and suffer that fear that, she may die, the dog, it's not supposed to stay with us forever, we are also not supposed to stay with her forever. So someday, if at all we lose that loss, we will suffer that loss. This is true of anybody whom we love around. By children, parents, everywhere it is so.
So the feeling of not being attached, or not like being attached to anyone, like that means that when I finally...
You are calling it attachment, detachment, I don't want to use those words. But you can say like that, because attachment, detachment has a very narrow meaning. Why should you be attached? When we love somebody, through the love it makes us attached. Actually it should give us freedom. We generally use in our college days, I am speaking about, not about spirituality. Generally when some boy will have some girl affair, he has weakness for that girl. Don't we use that word? Weakness. We used to say that, why should you say weakness? There's a special strength for that, because by loving her, he will feel stronger. Why should you say weakness? It should not be weakness. Any love properly done, it should make one more enriched. We should not be so poor as to always fearful of losing things. How much will you lose in life? It doesn't help you, perhaps. Help.
That makes sense.
Speak about clinging, Sangha.
Attachment means clinging. Is it okay?
Thank you so much.
We don't look at things in a simple, proper manner. When this statement, what I said today, it was made by one of my friends in my college days. It was such a illuminating statement. Immediately I was thinking that, this is the way we should look at things. Any suffering, is it not an enrichment? Why should you be always afraid of suffering? Where are you? Are you there? Ashwin. I am saying any suffering is an enrichment for us. Today morning I was speaking to somebody about suffering and all. I said that don't we go to see some films where pathos is pictured very deeply. We go, we see the film, we shed tears profusely. Sometimes we go, if it is a very good film, we go repeatedly also. So paying money, we go there to shed tears, to suffer. Is it not? We are suffering the pathos. So dukkha is not bad. Pathos is not bad. Pathos is also, it is actually more enrichment than seeing something happy or so, any happy sight or so. It will not enrich you so much as the scene of suffering will enrich you, is it not? If you are a person with depth and all, definitely you will be more enriched by suffering. So we should not be scared of coursing through suffering. We should course through any amount of suffering that comes. Not that you call suffering, and I am not saying that. But whatever comes, coursing through that, suffering, by coursing through the suffering, you will only become more and more enriched. The happy situation will not allow you to get enriched so much. So we should welcome all kinds of situation in life. Nowadays, these modular families, they don't allow us to grow. We should grow through all kinds of. But it has nothing to do, it has everything to do with spirituality, but you need not have brought in spirituality there. Why have you brought in spirituality? Tell me. Maybe you have some wrong conception about spirituality. Spirituality is nothing but to become more human. To live like a sane human, S-A-N-E, sane. We are generally insane. How can one who has not died be able to know what happens when we die or leave the body? By learning while we are still alive. It is almost coming to Nachiketa's question in a different form. See, it is possible. Who is this? Bishak. I have seen you earlier also, no? You had come for some youth program or something. See, it is possible to know, not in the manner you are thinking, but in some other manner. It is possible to know because what remains when the body falls is now also there. Say, we always say that I, the whole spirituality is to know who am I. That I in us, the consciousness in us, the identity, the real identity, it does not undergo any change when the body falls. So, when the body falls, the whole Kathopanishad I was speaking just now is that our real identity is immortal. It never changes. But to know that identity, we have to know when we have the intelligence and mind and all. After the body falls, there is no question of knowing. So when we know experientially that I am immortal, then he knows that when the body falls, that immortal Atma, the immortality will remain. It is not that after the body falls, the Atma will go here and there, will get born in New York or Moscow or anywhere. It is not like that. It doesn't go anywhere like that. And if at all it goes, nobody will know. What we know is the permanent element, imperishable element, which is our real identity, which we call Atma or Brahman or our I in us. That when we come to know that it never changes, it is always the same. It is beyond time, beyond any spatial division, everything. That has to be known when we are living. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Very good. Good that you are young people, you are asking some questions and not run away seeing our dress. We are not tigers or bears. We have been given to a lot of thinking, and when we meet people, we try to think in the manner they present things. Try to think what is the meaning of what they are saying, where is the trouble, everything. So our association, I don't think, will make anybody lose anything or become smaller or inferior. We were also boys like you, but we had enquiry for which we dedicated our whole life. We left all our profession, property, relations, everything, only to take this pursuit wholesomely. And whatever we have known in life to be the best and highest, we speak only about that. Other things we don't speak. So certainly association with us will help the youth, help the young people. It should help. And we are not rigid people who will say that you don't do this, don't do that. That your parents will say, we will not say. Their understanding of spirituality is like that. The questions are over, so Namrata can start, I think, no? Or if you have any other question, you can ask. All questions have been replied.
Pranam Swamiji. In one of the earlier questions, you had said to love everyone. I don't understand what that means or how to do that.
Start loving at least one or two. See, what prevents us from loving? It is our self-centeredness. We are always bothered about what am I to gain. Think about it, find out. When we don't want anything to be gained from the world, then only what I am saying, it becomes complete, that you start loving everybody. But before that, if you want to become like that, then you have to do the vichara, you have to think that where I am becoming self-centered. Even in our family life or our personal life or professional life, you look into your behavior, in your mind, into your mind. Most of the time, how my mind is thinking. See, one thing is action. We always talk about action. But much more important than actions is the thoughts, are the thoughts. That is, whatever we are thinking, according to that we will do. If somebody is behaving in a very selfish manner, that means the selfishness is there in his mindset. It is inside. So there we have to treat the selfishness. By becoming selfish, am I getting more joy? Am I becoming more cheerful? Or by outliving selfishness, by getting over selfishness, I feel more joyous. I don't have to answer, you will get the answer yourself. Every time we transcend a small selfishness also, we get so much of joy. By sacrificing for others, giving to others, thinking about others, embracing others in our fold. So once we recognize the joy lies in embracing all, in becoming larger and larger and larger, our mind will automatically grow. You will start loving everybody. Does it mean anything? You have to think. Huh? Difficult means you don't want to.
In deep sleep, we don't have access to the mind. But when we wake up, we say we slept well. So it's kind of like a recollection in terms of like memory that you slept well.
No, what are you asking?
So the question is, in deep sleep, we don't have access to our mind.
In sleep?
Yeah, when we are in sleep. But when we wake up, we say we slept well. So is that a... So there was a presence that made us realize that we slept well. But is it coming back as a memory to us?
If you have slept well, then it is in the memory must be there, otherwise how will we remember?
So how is that different from, or how is that similar or different from when you're realizing the truth? You're awake though, but how is that different? I'm not able to understand that, so I need some clarity on that. Because even there, your mind, you don't have access to it. So are you recollecting something or?
See, even the Nirvikalpa Samadhi we speak about, Samadhi, it is an experience. Is it not? The whatever we can know from others also, that about Ramakrishna Deva or anybody we have learned about, or from your own experience it could be. It is an experience, means on such and such day, such and such time, I had this Samadhi. In such and such place also you can say. When I was meditating, sitting in my college or sitting in the hall, I had Samadhi. That means the space you can remember, the time you can remember, the experience you can remember. It is certainly there must be an impression in the memory. Without that, how can you remember all those things? Any experience, unless it is recorded in the memory, you will not be able to recall. So if you remembered the sleep state which happened, maybe even dream, provided it is there in the memory, you will be able to recollect. That has nothing to do with realization or anything there. Swamiji has come, we will stop. प्रबुद्धं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं परं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि। प्रबुद्धं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि।